Hi, this is Matt and Kayleen, and we wanted to give a little update on last trip. So, starting last year, we made a trip around the country and made it all the way back to New York. And so we wanted to share a couple things about that trip, what we liked, what we didn't like, all that kind of stuff. So we want to start off with some stats for the numbers people. So we were on the road for 5.5 months.
From start to finish, we traveled 15,781 miles.
We passed through 23 states.
And our miles per gallon was between 8.5 to 16 miles per gallon.
That's diesel fuel. Ouch. The least we paid for the diesel was $1.70, and the most was $3 a gallon. So you do the math. We would prefer not to. So, favorite places. Why don't you start with favorite places?
My favorite place that we stayed was Big Bend National Park in Texas. I think that was our first exposure to the West. Everything kind of looked like home until we got to Big Bend.
Yep.
So just lots of neat things there.
My favorite place was San Francisco because, I don't know, it's just a beautiful city. I feel like every square inch was thought of, beautiful gardens and hills, and I just thought it was a pretty place.
And then our shared favorite place was Lake Isabella in California, which was a teeny town outside of Bakersfield, up in the mountains, and it was just really quaint. And
yeah, all the grass was perfect for miles and miles.
You could see snow-capped mountains in the distance, and we stayed surrounded by free-range cattle. It was really cool.
Yep. Hot springs nearby. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a couple of the lessons that we learned are to slow down and live a little bit. So a lot of the places that we went through a lot of states and towns only because we were traveling pretty constantly. We would go one place and stay for a day or two, maybe, and then jump back in the car, so that we didn't really set up very much. The whole setup, we didn't feel as at home, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So slow down and live.
Yeah, we also learned to fear less. I think last year when we started traveling, we were afraid about everything. We were afraid about towing, about going places, finding connection, just about everything. So I think once we got some destinations under our belt, we realized that we don't have to be afraid. It's okay.
Right. There was one stranger in a parking lot who told us that we should be afraid of strangers and not to talk to them, which I thought was pretty funny. But we did learn.
Ironic.
It was, yeah. But we learned pretty much, in general, people are kind. I mean, we met so many people and in so many places, and everybody was just so nice to us. I think we had one, bad experience, and it was kind of just someone being rude to us, not threatening us. It never felt like, boy, I wish I had that gun. Although Kayleen did have pepper spray, and she did test it out on herself. Wow, that is not staged.
You never know. But overall, we met so many kind people.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, we met so many kind people and were welcomed with kindness everywhere we went.
Right.
Another cool thing we learned is that this country is big. We were gone for 5.5 months and hit only 23 of the states.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 23 people.
No. But there's so much we didn't see, so much we didn't even think about.
Yeah.
So this country that we live in is amazing.
Yeah.
It's huge and full of so many different things.
It's sad how many states it was like we just flew by the, welcome to the state sign and flew by the see ya sign.
Yeah.
And the last thing that we learned was people are watching us, or at least reading our stuff. A lot of people are out there reading our blog. We were kind of surprised when we got home to hear like, oh yeah, I've been following along. So
it's not just the people gawking at us as our dogs bark out the window of our truck.
Oh, yeah.
But people online are watching us too.
We get looks, and not because we're such beautiful people. So this summer, we've been chilling in the Finger Lakes region of New York, which is beautiful. We've been staying at a campground called Creek and Wood.
Our site there is a cute little site along the creek. We can listen to the creek as we fall asleep each night.
Yeah.
And even better are the people there. When our summers at Creek and Wood are surrounded by a great community and friends there.
Yeah, one of the things that we learned about this summer has been solar. So we really wanted to be able to generate our own electricity. Last year we would have to kind of run the truck for a while to charge up batteries, to power laptops and things. We wanted to harness the sun. So we did a whole ton of research about DC electricity and solar, and we have that going for us this trip, which is kind of cool.
So as the summer wound down and the leaves started to turn and the weather got colder, we said goodbyes to our friends and we started off on another adventure, started planning what that would look like.
Yeah. The goodbyes were a lot harder,
Yeah.
and it was much harder to leave, but we've done it, and we're fine.
Yeah. So this year we are gearing up for another winter of travel.
Right.
We're planning a similar route down the East Coast and then heading west from Florida and then up into California.
So think of like a box around the country where you tore off the lid and then like the western side of it. It's kind of like a one-sided bottom box with like a little like if you're really hangry and you got a cereal box.
Okay. That's good.
So we also have kayaks. So we wanted to make sure that our truck was a little bit even more grand than last year. So we went to a junkyard and got some luggage racks and bought some kayak racks. So we have those strapped to the top of the truck. Yeah.
Also, we traded in our street bikes for some mountain bikes. We found
Yeah.
that pretty much everywhere we go has gravel roads or dirt paths, so street bikes aren't the best.
Right. Also, I think our poor little street bikes were in really bad shape at the end of that trip.
Yeah, it seemed like another part fell off every time we went for a ride.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, we have solar panels. So we have 230-watt solar panels that are mobile, and we can plug them in to the trailer with a patented plug design that we came up with, and we can aim them at the sun and steal its energy. That's right. It's
So
going to
we're
run out
hoping-
someday.
We're hoping that the solar panels will allow us to stay places longer like we
Right.
want to. We won't have to pack up and start going to a campground to charge your battery. We're hoping that we'll be able to stay more long term with the power we get from the solar panels.
Yeah, for sure. And if you didn't guess this, we're also trying video out. We've seen a lot of people use video for cool and fun things, so here we are,
Yep. So
coming at you.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then another fun thing this year is we are going to fly home to see our family for Christmas, which is a lot of fun. Last year, Christmas was a little lonely, so we're excited to be able to fly home and see some of our loved ones.
Yeah, or some of the people we don't love.
That too. I mean, well,
We probably won't see them.
I can't think of a lot of people that I don't love.
So that said, last trip was really, really, really great. But we think this trip is going to be better.
And we're really glad to have you guys for along for the ride.
Yeah, so hold on to your hats because this is going to be fun. If you're not wearing hats, hold on to something else. The cat. If you have a cat nearby.
Pepper spray.
If you have that,
Always at the ready.
Yeah. Why would you have that for this? Do you keep that in your coat?
I do, yeah. It's always this pocket.
Do you have any other useful stuff on here? Stats written down?
Crunchy leaves stuff.
This is all going to be the B-roll at the end of the YouTube video. Where we're like, follow us and subscribe.